about coming out of the broom closet, and I did make a video about that already, but maybe we can like bring up other topics or expand about it, but you know, I'll talk about it. Am I out of the broom closet? Probably about as much as most pagans. I'm of the same mind as most of them. You know, there's a time and a place. And sometimes people will choose that time and a place on whether it's an area that's generally appropriate, whether or not somebody's going to understand, whether it's conducive at all to your life for a particular person to know or a group of people to know. So who am I out to? I'm out to my whole family. My mom probably had the most problem with it. And when I say my whole family, I mean my immediate family. My mom, she's a little freaked out by occult stuff, devil worship and stuff like that. And I think she just has a hard time separating cult from Satan worship or devil worship or whatever. So she's a little freaked out by that. So she was a little freaked out about me being into witchcraft. But, you know, I sat down with her and I explained it. I mean, she's not like super happy about it, but she has said that it actually has improved me. Just some shallow things. It's made me a little more domestic. It's made me more desiring of cooking and cleaning. It's because those two things actually became like a spiritual practice for me, and I guess for other people as well. Basically, my family kind of teases me about it, which is the best possible reaction I could get. My dad calls me Andorra. People make little quips, and you know, I do it back. Like my sister said, "Do you know where the broom is?" I was like, "Oh, I took it out for a joyride." They're cool with it, and I also celebrate holidays with them. Like for Beltane, I made a asparagus and goat cheese quiche for them, which is my recipe for Beltane, and I brought my book. And I did the recipe out of my book. That's kind of a part of the whole ritual. And even my sister said, "Hey, can I look at your book?" And I said, "Sure." I said, you know, read it up to here, up to my spell work. And she actually looked at it pretty intently. She just didn't flip through it. She read almost everything. And she was like, "Oh, this is really cool." Cool. And it was funny. Later on, my mom and my sister and I were Skyping with my other sister, and my mom said, "Oh, she made a Wiccan dish." And I was like, "Mom, I got the recipe from Pillsbury.com. It's not a Wiccan dish." I actually got the idea for the recipe from, like, you know, I was just like looking up haphazardly on the internet, like what are some foods people make on these certain Sabbats, and one of them was goat cheese and asparagus quiche, and I was like, I'm sold. I love goat cheese. And then, of course, there's what happened with my ex. And I cannot figure out what his relationship was with me being a Wiccan, because he seemed cool with it one second and not cool with it another second. Like, he told everybody. He told his boss and his mother and brother. He told my aunt. And I had to pull him aside. I was like, "Honey, don't do that." You know, don't just tell everybody about it. Although I am a little bit out on Facebook, and I do have extended family members that I'm friends with on Facebook. My Pinterest account is connected with my Facebook account, and there's a folder for Wicca. So maybe some extended family members know, and maybe they just don't care. As far as work goes, I agree with most pagans that, you know, religion is not a topic you bring up at work. In terms of being out in public, I have worn my pentacle out in public a few times. When I went to Joann Fabrics not too long ago to get stuff from my book, I had the binder with me. And, you know, I was kind of like measuring fabric out to like make sure, okay, how much fabric do I need to cover this binder? And the person who was cutting the fabric said, "Oh, what are you making?" And I said, "Oh, I'm covering up this here binder." And she said, "Oh, is it for a school project?" And first I was like, "Oh, she thinks I'm young enough to be in school. Cool." And I said, "No, it's a personal book." And she said, "Okay." And like I thought to myself, you know, I wanted to say it, but I was a little scared too. And it wasn't like, you know, I want to come out and say, "Hey, yo, I'm a witch. Represent." It was for me to kind of help with that anxiety, to be more open about it. So I went up to the register. I was asked the same question, and I said, "Oh, I'm making a book of shadows." And she said, "Oh, okay." I didn't know how to interpret her face. She was kind of wide-eyed. And I said, I don't know if you know what that is. And she said, "I know what it is." It's like, okay. Nothing more was said. I have no idea what she thought. But I kind of felt I felt anxious, but I felt kind of proud of myself. Like, you know, I was out there, you know, I said it. I kind of want to do that more. I kind of wanted to, like, you know, feel like kind of proud of myself. Like I reached out of my comfort zone and I, you know, proclaimed myself a witch. Even if she didn't know what a Book of Shadows was. And she did. And so that kind of, you know, kind of tested my comfort zone. And I was really uncomfortable, but, you know, in retrospect, I'm proud that I was able to do that. So it's really a matter of just trying to be brave and be a little more open, not flashy, be open about it. And, you know, maybe some people will think I'm crazy. Maybe some people will think I'm evil or immature or whatever, you know, whatever they think. I need to be comfortable with it. I never wanted it to be like a huge part of me. Hello, and I introduce myself and I say, I'm a Wiccan, you know, I'm a witch, pagan, whatever. You know, I don't want to be like that to be, you know, a big part of my identity. You know, I want it to be my spirituality. I guess I don't want my spirituality to be one of the first things I tell people about myself. But as I've said before in one of my previous videos, the dating game is different. I have to let my potential partners know because, you know, I want them to be cool with it, obviously. So I'm super open to anybody I go out on a date with. You know, of course, there's some things I don't talk about, but in terms of like my involvement in it and just about what it is, you know, I could talk their ear off, and I try not to. I'm super open about that, and whether they judge me or not, that's a point where I don't care. So maybe I really shouldn't care about, you know, just people in public, like what they think. I don't know. I don't know what makes me so comfortable with, like, on dates, but not comfortable with somebody, like, walking on the street. That's where I'm at with my whole broom closet thingy. I'm a little more open than I used to be. You know, I'm liking it. I'm trying to be a little more brave. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and blessed be. Oh, and by the by, the music I played at the beginning was Radiohead's Burn the Witch from their new album. The song isn't actually about witches. It's more about McCarthyism mentality. But the song is great. The video is kick-ass, so check it out.